Legendary Breakfast with Peteke and Thabile TTO.
And of course, in the background, what you're hearing is Rowlene with the song titled Stop, which is track number 1 on her 1111 album. It is 24 minutes just after 8 a.m. If you just tune in, Legendary Breakfast with myself, Nabara, Peteke, and Thabile TTO. And speaking of Rowlene, she is here. Good morning, Rowlene.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Tabi and I were speaking about how the last time we saw you, well, also him, was when we were still on campus radio.
Yep.
And just like, people that have just supported us from the beginning.
I was like, am I at the right place?
We're elevating.
Because I remember y'all, and I'm like, wait, am I at the right place? I was even looking at, I even weighed it. I was like, wait, guys, I'm not sure.
Elevating, Rowlene. I mean, we're just gonna start it from you being a summer nominee.
Oh wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
With regards to that for best R&B, right?
No, pop
album. So shout out with that. Where were you when the news broke that you have been nominated for a summer?
I was in bed. No, literally, like I have this Telegram group and I have all my robots in there. I don't like calling them fans. It's so weird. It's so weird. And they sent me a video that they had recorded, and everyone just started freaking out. And I'm like, why, guys, stop whining. What are you talking about? They're like, yo, you got nominated for a song. I'm like, what? So it's been real, man. Like the people that have been writing for me and writing with me have been supporting me. They make me feel like it's all worth it, like regardless of the amount of people, like just knowing that there's people that's supporting me and that is a part of this journey is kind of like uplifting in some kind of way. Yeah.
And before we jump into the interview, I mean, for you as a musician, what does it mean for you to be nominated for literally the highest honor in the South African entertainment music sphere? I mean, this is like almost our Grammys.
Really it is.
So what does it mean for you?
I feel like it was well deserved because I worked really, really, really hard on this project, and I put my heart and soul into it, man. Like I throughout the whole pandemic thing, I felt like this is the only thing that kept me sane, and being like seeing it as an accolade it's really dope. Like it's freaking crazy. Like it's because like I'm being acknowledged as the person that made the best, like one of the 5 people that made the best pop, and pop is not really something that is recognized.
Exactly, and I'm glad that you brought it up because that's what I wanted us to get, considering that I wanted to ask you if you think it's a huge market, for the kind of sound that you make here, especially here at home.
Especially here, like it's a crazy thing because even when you look at stats, like it's something that is incomparable to like other places. So to me, it's like, wow, you guys actually acknowledge that I exist. It's crazy. So at the same time, it's just like it's kind of a beacon of hope for everyone else that thinks or feels like they've been sidelined or no one's really paying attention. Like people are watching, and just keep doing what you're doing, type of thing,
And Rowlene, what gravitates you towards this genre that you have specifically chosen to do?
I haven't selected any genre.
Whoa!
So that was really crazy for me. That pop, come on, like because there's like 3 pop songs on there, to be honest.
Yeah.
And like everything else is just everything else. And the way I kind of put this project together was in a way that I wanted to make music for myself first, because I'm going to have to listen to this in 20 years. And my kids are going to have to listen to this. Like my grandkids are going to have to listen to this. And I wanted to be proud of that. Like I make timeless music, I'd like to say, And with that comes a certain responsibility of kind of being okay with people, with the naysayers and people saying, but you should do this, but you should do that. I kind of...
Is it because you're young? They're expecting you to do something because you are a certain... Yeah, I think they're judging by age.
It's not even that. I think it's a talent thing.
Okay.
And I put it in that box because you wouldn't want me to do a specific thing if you didn't think I was good at it. And if you're coming at like you should do more stuff like swang or more stuff like SMA or more stuff like stop, like there's so many different things that I've done like in for myself so far. So I'm not gonna allow anyone else to dictate how I'm supposed to sound, because that's just not gonna be me. Then you're completely taking away the essence of Rowlene. So that was what my album was about. Was just me accepting that this is what I want to do and this is how I'm gonna do it, regardless of what people think.
Not only that, Rowlene, I mean, the title of the album is so strong. It's got such a strong presence. Why 1111?
Because as aforementioned, I wanted this to be my path, like not dictated by someone else or anyone else. Like it was my path of awakening, me figuring out myself, me figuring out where I feel safe, where I feel excited, where I also feel scared. Like, you know, like putting myself in a position where I allow myself to share what I am and who I am with everyone else. And that was why I chose 1111, because it's such a powerful thing. Like, it's such a powerful time, and I felt like this is just the beginning for me, and that was just my first album, and I wasn't gonna cling to it like it's my first child, because I'm definitely gonna have like a million more albums. But with that being said, I wanted it to be something that was gonna be powerful and strong and timeless at the same time.
And it's already nominated for Summer, so it's already going up. www.massivmetro.com.
Legendary break for myself, Nabara, Peteke, and Thabile TTO. We are hanging out with Rowlene. I was just telling you off air that literally when you dropped this, I looked first, okay. I was like, okay, fine, 12 songs, look at the features, all right. And then I was like, Manan and Rowlene, I have to listen to this. That was the first song I listened to. Immediately I asked for it to be on the system. I was like, no ways, this song is too good. Tell us about this collaboration and the meaning behind this song.
So it's basically a gaslit relationship.
Ish.
The whole thing is just like, you know that something's bad for you, but you keep going back. And the whole Sunday morning thing is finding that Sunday is usually the beginning of something new. So just having hope and hoping that things will get better, but you know that it won't. So Sunday morning is just like, we titled it Sunday morning, maybe on a Sunday morning, because Sunday is supposed to be a blessed day, a hopeful day, the beginning of new things. And you kind of have to be that person that's gonna remove yourself from that situation. So yeah, that's kind of what the song was about when we made it, because the whole writing camp that I was on that week was kind of about just getting out of my comfort zone and not being genre specific, as aforementioned. And the team that I worked with for my album, we purely did everything based off how we felt the day that we made the song, because Danger, Sunday Morning, Stop, and there's a couple of other songs we also worked on that didn't make the album, but those specific songs were all how we felt. So when you listen to those songs, that's exactly how we felt, and there's something that triggered those emotions that specific day. So I specifically try to make music that resonates with myself, and that's very personal. So it's easier for me to talk about, it's easier for me to sing, and I can always go back to that moment of, you know, like that put me in that position or space.
And also, you know, when I see Rowlene featuring Manana, it's just so fitting. How do you pick the
My
people
features?
that you collaborate with and work with on masterpiece music?
I basically just work with people who it doesn't even matter what they do or if they're doing this permanently or if they're still figuring themselves out. It's purely based off the music. That will always come first. Like, I don't care if I have beef with someone or if the energy is weird or whatever. If the song is gonna sound good, I'm gonna do it for the song.
Wow, that's
you know?
so very grown of you to do.
You know what I mean? Like, it's if the song is gonna sound great, then put your emotions aside and let's work. You know. And that's just how I do all of my features. Like, I don't have a lot of them. I actually have a lot of them. I have a lot of features, but all of those features were purely based off energy and music. Like, I was in the room, we didn't really talk about it. It's never been like, yo, we should work. All of those things, like, yo, we should work, never worked out. I'm still waiting for those verses. So it's always been like, we've been in the same room and bam, magic.
Yeah. And Rowlene, you are a songwriter. I know that you write basically all your songs, right? So what is like the hardest part for you when it comes to staying motivated to keep practicing and writing?
I don't really think that there's the hardest part. I think that as an artist, you kind of need to balance everything. You need to take a break sometimes. Like, you shouldn't be hard on yourself. I used to be the person that that was hard on myself 24/7. Like, oh, I need to make a song a day. I used to be that person that would wake up and be determined to make a song a day. Until I found someone that said, yo, you need to starve yourself sometimes from making music, because when you do come back, you have this hunger for like, you want to get this out, and then you make some crazy things that you never even thought, because you just want to sing, and then before you know it, like, the song's done. I'm like, yeah, but I do that anyway. So they're like, no, but at the same time, what is the exciting part then? Like, where's the thrill in it? Like, where's all of that? Like, you need to find, you're not procrastinating. Like, you need to take the time out to starve yourself to go and make that music, because based on the person you are, you'll always be great if you have goals and you set those little, how can I say, those little goals for yourself, man. Like, you just saying, I want to have this by this Friday. Yeah. You know? And if you do that, no matter how you do it, when you get to that, like, at least congratulate yourself and be proud of what you've done. Because I feel like as artists, we're so focused on the next thing. We never really sit in the moment, and we're never really grateful for what even this whole summer thing. Like, I have to still process it. I haven't, you know, because like, I'm already on to like my next project. Like, what is it gonna sound like? What is the cover gonna be? What is this, like, who am I gonna have on it, you know? So all of those things, like, we don't take the time to really just be proud of what we've already accomplished.
Wow.
So with even writing, I sometimes have to be like, yo, but I have to listen to my album and actively, like, I fell asleep listening to it 2 nights ago, because I sometimes forget what I've created. So I have to take in the time and be like, yo, this is dope.
Wow.
Like, this is really dope. Like, how did you know? So even is one of the songs. I think it's the second or third track on the project. Creeping is the second. So even.
Second, yeah.
Yeah. So that song, when I put that song together, it was just, I did that in like 20 minutes. That whole song, I wrote the whole song in 20 minutes. Myself and Leslie was working on the production the night before, and while I was sitting there and he was working on the production, I already knew what I wanted to say. And I was so annoyed because like he was busy and I wanted to record. To a point I was like, yo, just go produce a song in the kitchen, dog. Like, let me just record the parts that I have. By the time he came back, the song was done.
How do you know when to stop? Like, I can imagine writing and putting all your feelings in this one song. How do you know when to cap it now? Like, I'm parking it now. This is the last verse. This is the last chorus. I'm not adding any more of my feelings. How do you know when to stop?
When the story is done. Like, because I'm always telling a story. I'm always painting a picture of something that had happened to me. So it's like, as honest as I am in my music, I feel like sometimes I need to chill, but like, it's my diary at the same time. So I cap it when I'm like, okay, you don't need to know that. You know, like, but like that's how I know. Like, it's sonically, it just has to be pleasing. Because when I'm mixing the stuff, like, and I have my headphones on, I sometimes chop things like that I did in the beginning, because I just sing random stuff sometimes. And before I know it, I just move things around, and I'm like, it's done. Like, I add a million harmonies, and then at the end, when I listen to it and I feel like it's too much, I then have someone else listen to it, and then they'll tell me, nah, it's pretty, and I'm like, that's it then.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about this next song here. What is it about? Hypnotize?
Oh man, I love the song so much. So Nonzo Amari, we met on Instagram. We haven't met, so damn COVID. So he sent me like 5 songs that he wanted me to work on for his project at the time. This was in 2019. And I was obsessed with all of them. I literally recorded to all 5 of them. And I sent all 5 back to him, and I was like, yo, we basically have an EP, my nigga. Let's just drop this stuff. And then he's like, you know what, actually, I'm putting the song on my EP. This is what I want to come to SA, we need to shoot, because he's based in Canada right now, but he's from Nigeria. So with Hypnotize, I was like, yo, can I please just drop the song? Actually, I need to put this on my project, and I have a whole plan. And he's like, actually, just have it, fam. Like, you can have it. Just go off. But man, like, I can't even describe the whole, not even being in studio with him, but understanding the energy of the song when I heard it the first time. Because he had sent it to me he sent me the verse and the hook. And I was like, this was the first one I finished. Like, can I please have it? Like, it's so pretty. I feel like it's so elusive at the same time, but it's magical, and it just gives you that like rainbow energy vibe, you know? Like, I can't even describe it, because it was truly magical. The whole experience of collaborating with someone that is not in the room. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it was and it sounds like we were in the same studio writing and recording and putting this whole thing together, but we weren't. Like, he produced majority of the song. He sent it to me, and I just laced my vocals on it.
We've got Rowlene coming through with Hypnotize right here on the Rocking Real and Relevant Massive Metro. Such a beautiful jam coming through from her latest debut album, that is 1111, available now on all digital music platforms. We're having a conversation with her and celebrating with her because it has been nominated for a Summer Award. Now, Rowlene, as we jump back into, the music and all the incredible work that you've put into this album, what is that one word that you would use to describe the album? Just one word, just to describe every song, every emotion, every blood, sweat, and tears put into the album. Just one word. And why?
Yo, I've never thought of that, actually. Experience.
That's dope.
Why?
Because every single song I feel like I can learn from myself. And I don't want to repeat any of my mistakes, and I just want to get better. I just want to grow as a person. So with experience, if you don't have it, you can't really learn or know or pinpoint the things that you wish to do better as a person, So even the little minute things like mixing the stuff or writing the stuff or going through a specific situation or emotion, or not trying to project bad energy at the same time, like learning how to also evaluate the situation, understand the situation, and then move forward from it. So creeping is one of them. Let's not talk about that, but literally like just learn experience, because I'd like to grow and learn from it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, Rowlene, songs like Sunday Morning and Hypnotize, very soulful harmonies with regards to that. So when I'm trying to understand also, when you are writing your songs, do you already envision the harmonies that will go along with it?
Some of the songs have harmonies before it has words.
Wow.
Because I'm weird. Like there's a song I have that doesn't, like, it's just my vocals. There's no beat, nothing. It's just my vocals, and it's a song. But the process, it's just how it makes you feel. Like I'm a very emotional person, so music is an emotional thing to me. Like I always think of how this is gonna, and if I give myself goosebumps, it's over, because it's so hard for I'm a difficult person to please when it comes to music. So when I can do that to myself, it's just like, you're ready, this is ready, stop. That's also
the title of your song. Now, Ro, the thing is, now let's talk about this single, the music video also, Danger. Now, when you're speaking about genres, I understand now when you meant that. No, I haven't chosen the genre, because I won't lie to you, when I played the song, I was like, that is not how we know Rowlene.
And also not South African.
Because I was like, I'm just gonna hear another version of her singing beautifully again, just soulful harmonies, but it's an upbeat song, I mean, what?
Yeah, I just felt like I wanted a playlist of things that I usually listen to.
Yeah.
And that was what my album is. That's exactly what it is. It's a playlist of different genres, different songs, different tempos, different meanings, different everything. Some songs are super invasive, some songs are super playful, So that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted a playlist, and Danger, I feel like, is the happiest song. And I put it at number 4, because when I was doing the track listing, it was so difficult, because I was like, if you put this somewhere, if you just place this in the incorrect place for this entire thing,
to shock people.
They're not gonna enjoy it as much if you put it at a number 8, because now they've already listened to all the smooth jams, and then this just comes and shocks them.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's just shock them from track 1. So stop. Let's go.
You
even there. And then I was like, creeping. Yay. Danger. Go. It was all different vibes from track 1 to track 12.
You shocked us. I won't lie, because even when my technical producer was loading it, he's like, that Rowlene? I'm like, yeah, it is. And now you use the concept of the movie Clueless.
Yeah.
I love that movie too, so it makes sense. But with regards to the song, what is it actually about? Yeah.
So I started with, I want a bad boy that's nice, take me out for ice cream, then tell me he don't like me. So the innuendo of girls just the innuendos of girls not knowing what they want, but also knowing what they want, because what is a bad boy that's nice, guys?
Exactly.
So it was just a play on the nuance of we actually do know what we want. I feel like guys are just not listening. They're not approaching the situation correctly. And we're just fun and playful. We know what we want, but we also like, it's not that serious. Come on, you know? So that song is just, we just had a lot of fun making it. Like I have videos of the whole creation of from line to line to line to line to us creating a TikTok challenge to us dancing in the living room, because we made this in a living room. We recorded this whole thing in the living room, guys, in Cape Town. So it wasn't that serious. Like, it's not a deep song. It's not about like, it's nothing that was, we really just had fun. We didn't want to limit ourselves to just making songs like Sunday Morning, or just making songs like, because even Stop, like I felt like Stop was, it's so different. Like
it is different,
so different,
yeah.
But it still applies to the niche of what I've done before. So I just try to approach everything that I've done before, what the inner me or the inner child in me would like to or would have wanted to hear, like back then also.
Wow.
You know? So Danger is a song that I thought of, who can I sell the song to? You know? I always think of it like that. I'm like, Ariana would kill the song. And I was like, that's exactly who I'd want to feature on this.
Yeah.
You know? So that's kind of how I do the marketing of my songs. I'm just like, this is who I want to be for now. So I'm going into my danger phase.
I want to ask you, before we play the song, did you also have a difficult time, since the album is 11-11? You can't just place, you know, Danger maybe number 1 or number 2. Did you have also like a real trouble placing the songs to the number? Like, were you anal about that, or was it just like, okay, I feel like this song should come here because of that, or that, or were you?
So I have really cool friends. Like, what I did with the listening session was just a quick story. I made like a little chart with stars with all 40 songs that has
40 songs.
Yes. So with that songs, we were just like, we had to all sit in the room. So I had Gemini, I had Talaman, I had Nasty, I had Sam, I had Jamie, Nani, all my friends. Like, everyone was in the room at the time, and we were all living together because of COVID. So we literally sat in the studio, we played everything top and tail, and I said, guys, out of what, like, rate these songs 1 out of 5 stars. And when we got to the songs that were all 5 stars, we then put them in and it was like 15 songs. And then from that 15 songs, we had to narrow it down. Oh my gosh, sorry.
Honey.
We had to narrow it down to 11, because I wanted 11, you know?
Yeah.
And then we were like, and then the whole Stop thing hadn't happened yet. That wasn't a feature yet. So it was just those songs. And then we had to rate those 10 songs, that 12 songs, down to like how we would arrange it. And in the room, it was energy based. So like, I had emojis. I was like, where would you place this? And we had done that as a group collectively. So once we had that, we then arranged the songs, we listened to it, and based off everyone's emotions when they were sitting from like this position, like when they were down holding their heads, to being up, to like jumping around, to be like, no, the production and this is sick, to bopping their heads. Every single thing was important to me. Like, I looked at every reaction from track 1 to track 11 at the time, and I was like, this is exactly how I would want people to receive this. Like, from sitting in being shocked to like, wait, what is she doing?
Yeah,
that's what track 1 is. Like, what is she doing? Like, she's not singing, but she's singing at the same time. To track 2, where she's really telling a story. To track 3, where she's being too honest. To track 3, where she's being wild. You know, like, it's really just a story that I'm telling, and how I want people to take it in for the first time.
Imagine doing the 12th. I want to hear the 12th track, the one that was just slipped. The one that almost made it but didn't make it.
Man, like, it was fun. Like, it was really fun making this project. It wasn't really like a task at all. Like, it wasn't like, what are you trying to, it was not a let's make an album today thing. Like, it was, I make music every day, and I feel like it made it simpler but also more hard when selecting the songs, because you kind of equally love all of them.
Now, we're not going to pressure you and ask you when's your next project, because we just let's just wait for your win for the summers, and then we'll talk about that next. But I want to know from you, just before we let you go, what's the most important thing you want people to know about you, your music, and your craft?
I really study a lot of the things that I want to become. So if it's more mindful, if it's more open-hearted, if it's more loving, like all of those cliche things that you probably hear all the time, I try and educate myself on the things that I would want to become or wish to become, because that way I can also pass it on, because I know it, like, even when it comes to mixing my music or writing my music, I watch YouTube videos, I sit in rooms where people are working, and I just absorb, you know, like, I want to absorb as much as I can. So I just want people to, like, I'm very, very determined, very, very hardworking, and once I set my mind on something, I always get it. I believe in the law of attraction so firmly that I try and not isolate myself, but like I'm very selfish with my time. Like I'm very, very selfish with my time. Like you won't just see me anywhere. Like if you're looking for me, I'm definitely at home working.
Yeah.
Or watching something, or reading something or listening to a book or something. But I'm always asking questions. I'm very inquisitive.
I love that.
Yeah.
Rowlene, thank you so much for spending time with us. Really enjoyed this chat with you. It was very eye-opening. She's available on all social media platforms at Rowlene_SA. If you have never listened to her album, please, it's been out since last year, 11/11, and she's nominated for the Summers, man. I'm about to wrap up. I am Unalinna Barata Peteke.
And I'm Thabile TTO, and it's been a complete, absolute, ultimate takeover. We back and doing it again tomorrow, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on the Rocking Real and Relevant Massive Made Show.
Legendary Breakfast with Peteke and Thabile TTO.